कह रहे थे आप करते जाओ करते जाओ करते जाओ, लेकिन समय अनुसार अब बदलते हुए पेरेंट को
तुम भगवान हो, हम ब्रह्मास्मि याद रखो, ब्रह्मा तुम हो, रचनाकार तुम हो, खुदा खुद वर्ड से खुदा बनाया ना, एक डंडा ही तो लगा है।
सोचते कि बच्चा है, वो औरत कैसी, लड़की कैसे गाना गाएगी, उसके भाव क्या होंगे, उस किस तरह से नाचेगी।
The decisions and the thinking of political leadership.
Hi everyone, welcome to Godlywood studio, which is situated at Manmohanivan complex, Abu Road, and welcome to your favorite talk show, Ek Mulakat. As you all know, this is a platform where we bring in great personalities from different fields, experts in various fields of life, and talking to them, looking into those aspects of their life, we try to take inspiration both from their words and deeds. Today also we have a successful personality with us from the very busy field of politics. Politics, as you all know, is such a field where there is a lot of scope for blessings from everyone you come into contact with. But at the same time, if you are not very careful, lots of controversies, lots of backbiting, and lots of stress and whatnot. And this is mainly because somewhere in our heart, you and me really believes that all the politicians in our country are in one way or other responsible for all our problems. So, most welcome to Mr. Malila Ligreddy, ex-MLA, District President, Telugu Desam Party, Kadapa District, and the Director of Mineral Development Corporation, Andhra Pradesh Government. Sir, welcome to Godlywood Studio and welcome to the show.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Sir, my first question, since you are from a very busy field, how do you manage with all the stress which political field usually has?
It's a very peculiar and very wonderful field of all the fields in the universe. Because it relates to all types of activities, persons, and there is, on the other hand, we can say that there is no subject in the universe which is not connected with the politics or administration.
Politics and administration becomes a platform.
For all the persons and for all the fields. Right from a baby just born and till to the moment of an old person of 99 years, 100 years dies. Throughout the all levels, all stages of human life, the politics is connected, the politics is concerned, because the politics are with the concerning with the administration.
Directly or indirectly,
directly
all of us are
concerning
connected.
A decision that is going to be taken by the political leaders or people in government or people in administration, that affects all type of persons, all sections of society. So, whatever a change that has to be brought has to be from the political leadership only. So, this is such a peculiar and wonderful field.
Really. And do you really think that, as you said right now, more than any other fields, political field need to take more responsibility, or responsibility can be shared equally by every field of life regarding change and transformation?
Certainly, whether to construct the society or whether to destruct the society, that lies on the attitude of the decisions and the thinking of political leadership. Whether a transformation has to be brought, whether a reformation has to be brought, it has to be from the political leaders themselves. because the other persons may be there in the society, but they have less chance and very less opportunities to bring about that sort of change, reformation, transformation, etc., etc. So, for better living, for observing, following, and to inculcate ethics, or to obtain attitudinal changes, to lead a characteristic life, to lead moral oriented life, characteristic, humanistic, ethical and disciplined way, the political leadership has to be responsible for that.
But sir, of late, this is a question which is there in the mind of the common public. When we look at the present day political field, do you feel that the ethics which you talked about, does it play a prominent role, or has any other thought process has taken the lead in our present day politics?
No, for every field there are ethics, professional ethics, personal ethics, ethics of for society, ethics for politics, ethics for democracy, ethics for administration, etc., etc. So, I practiced legal profession for 10 years. Even an advocate should not go around the shopping malls or shopping complexes elsewhere wearing the black coat.
Yeah.
So, that is the professional ethics. So, that is the dress code. So, like that, there cannot be any politics without character. There cannot be economics without ethics. So, for every field, for every person, for every aspect, the concerned ethics have to be there invariably. That is certain.
When you were an advocate, have you had any such experience which later led you to the political field, or was it your choice from the childhood to come into the field of politics?
We know that professional, as far as concerning the professional ethics, advocate knows that a person, an accused who comes to him, has committed a wrong thing.
Whether he has committed or not, the advocate clearly knows.
So, he might have committed murder, he might have committed theft, etc., etc. As per the professional ethics, he has to argue that he is innocent man.
Really?
So, that may be against the virtues,
Yes.
against the spirituality, but the professional ethics are different, and spiritual values are different. Because what law says, if there is a lapse of 3 years after executing a promissory note, law says that you not give. The promissory note lapses, and it won't have enforceability in the courts. But what our virtues, what our dharma, etc., etc., ancient philosophy, ethical life says, whether you executed promissory note or not, whether it exceeds 3 years or not, whether it is executable in the court or not, as you have taken money, you are bound to repay it. That is the virtue. So, there is some distinction between concerned professional ethics and spirituality, virtue as a whole.
Really. But can there be a convergence somewhere? That is, if a person is coming to you as an advocate, this is a very personal question, and you know very well that he has done the deed and he needs your help. So, as from the point of view of values or spirituality or ethics, will it be the right decision for an advocate to say no to the concerned person? I am not ready to take up your case because I know you are accused. Will it set an example in the society for others to follow. Don't you think that?
Certainly, if you have moral binding and the advocate who has spiritual mind cannot accept to defend on behalf of a thief or murderer, something like that. So here there are two things. One is to practice with that spiritual violation, or to abstain from the provision.
Only two choices.
Only to judge. So that problem is also there. If there is nobody to defend even an offender, that is impossible in the democratic
in the judiciary
system, legal profession, and modern civil society also. So it is for the judges, it is for the courts to decide whether he has committed a crime or not. But it is for the advocate, as per his professional ethics, to defend such people.
Then coming to the personal level, do you really, because you are such an experienced lawyer and a politician, is it possible for a person now, as a youngster, if they want to come into the field of politics and do some social service, is it possible for them to do it in an ethical, spiritual or value-based way nowadays?
A society of different types of persons, good or bad, and virtuous or non-virtuous people, evil-doing people, and criminals, thieves, morally binding people, and the people doing immoral things, businessmen, intellectuals, students, women, etc., etc. So when there is some sort of illicit doing nature and a sort of sin doing or crime committing culture, it automatically enters in the minds of politicians also. We cannot see the politicians aloof from the rest of the society. They are still also part of
but still I think
society.
There is a way of looking at in a different way to politicians, because many people have advised me as a youngster, you should understand politics but never participate in live politics. So this shows, I think, the attitude of people towards the political field.
It is the responsibility of the politicians as a community whole. They have to bring about a considerable change in the thinking attitude of the people. Of course, it may be true that so many people are not good in society in terms of their behavior, thoughts, and attitudes. But we have to bring the change. It is again for the politicians. Because some politicians, some political party has to incept some reformation, change, or transformation. But when the politics are coupled with the spirituality, they will resort to the bringing of that sort of change. The politics which are not coupled with spirituality, the political persons which are not practicing spiritual ways, they will be most materialistic, and they will be going on achieving goals and results on unethical manners and
many selfish motives.
Selfish mode, and either the politicians or some commoners shall have the fear of God. What actually takes place in the spirituality on evangelical ways, we don't know whether there is God or not. But if we say, and if we believe that there is no God, the self-control or self-restraintment, self-reformation will not be there. Because if a Prime Minister is there, President is there, MLA, Minister, Chief Minister, or an IS officer, or a judge is there, they are very mighty people. They are very wealthy people, and who has some powers within his control or jurisdiction. Politician, what he thinks, he commits murder of his opponent. He grabs the property or wealth of the opposite party or public in general. If you don't have the fear of God, what he thinks is, if I commit a crime, if I commit usurping an offense of taking away the property of others, he thinks I can manage the police without registering a case. Even if police registers case, he manages the witnesses by not giving evidence against him, and thereby escaping the conviction from the courts. If such a fellow has a fear of God, even if I escape from this world, from opposite party people, from the government, from the police, from the courts, if there is something supernatural power which is beyond the control of human beings, that we may say God or something like that.
The punishment will definitely
the
come.
Punishment will be there, definitely. The punishment is there certainly in the next world. You cannot close the eyes of the God. You can just close the eyes of government, administration, or fellow human beings. But you cannot close the eyes of the God. You cannot escape from the view of the God. Even if you manage all these things in the present world, if you feel that the punishment is certain, you will abstain from doing the crimes, sins, etc. With yourself, without reforming yourself. There is no need of court, there is no need of controlling for laws, enforcement of laws, etc.
Sir, this is really wonderful.
That sort of realization has to be there. That's why there has to be punya priti, papa priti. Fear of God, fear of sin. That sort of, if something, some good occurs to you with your charity, with your generosity, then you will support the fellow human beings. Unless you don't. So that sort of punya priti, papa priti has to be brought, has to be inculcated firstly in the minds of politicians, the administrative wing, because they can construct the society, they can destruct the society.
Sir, what you said is really wonderful, because you have been mentioning to the law of karma in what we speak in spirituality. So, if we fear this karma, that what we do will definitely come back, whatever happens, it will come back, as you rightly said. I think there will be a change from the individual level, and it will normally take into the general public level later. Coming back into your personal life, politics is a field where you need to interact with a lot of people. And one of the greatest art as per management techniques is how to deal with people. So, what are your techniques or ways of interaction? How have you become so successful by interacting with a lot of people?
Now the thing is that the life of politicians will not depend solely on his personal or something like that. How to a politician has to behave, how to a politician has to execute things tactfully with the common public depends upon the policies, practices, approaches of the opposite party, opposite leader. Supposing if opposite party gives 1,000 for a voter in the election, mere uttering certain words, certain good words from opposite party candidate or person candidate will not work. But as of now, what the politicians have to do is, first they have to reduce their shortcomings. First they have to reduce their lapses. First they have to reduce their selfishness and dishonesty. Then in course of time, it is totally vanished. So for voters or public, the only option left is who is more criminal, who is less criminal, who is more corrupt, who is
less corrupt.
less corrupt.
That is the
So
only
the choice is there for the voters. But unfortunately, the voters or public in general are not finding a total honest person, total a person without any criminal background, etc.
A role model.
It's a question of comparison. So that's why I had a very useful and wonderful peculiar program of spiritual empowerment of political leaders under the leadership of Brij Mohan Bhai. Because the politicians are thinking that politics are separate and spirituality is separate.
So coming back into this present conference which you are attending right now, a lot of politicians from different parts of the country is attending these conferences. What do you think is the significance of more conferences like this? As you said, combining politics and spirituality, administration and spiritual power. What do you think is the future of such programs?
It has to be there in every field, as well as in politics also, because the other section of the public or people, executives, etc., are next to the politicians who are experiencing unbearable stress. So, the more stress will be there, the more meditation or some method or some device has to be there for reduction of the tension or removal of tension. What Brahma Kumaris have been preaching and teaching, practicing is first removal of stress, removal of tensions. When there is tension, there will be no attention. So the first thing that is useful for politicians and others are the noble efforts of Brahma Kumaris are very much useful for leading a very comfortable, peaceful, orderly life by removing tensions, very concentrated life. A slip of a word from the lips of politician will causes major damage, very major uproar, pandemonium in the society. So the politicians have to be more careful than the rest of the public, for which the spirituality is required, for which the meditation is required, for which yoga is required. The Brahma Kumaris are providing fully, completely, exclusively than the other organization in the entire world. That is surprising and very devotional commitment and service related, and their affection, their approach to the people, their service, their serving, their words, acts, etc., their charity, their pleasant way of bringing about considerable change in the minds of people. It is not available anywhere in the society from any organization. It is most divinely, it is pious and not found elsewhere in the universe, for which we are grateful and thankful, and we can't forget this sort of experience. It is really, we are fortunate that God is getting all these things through Brahma Kumaris. That is so surprising also.
And from the part of all of us in the Godlywood studio, I think we also need to thank you for coming, taking time from a busy schedule. That is also not very easy for politicians to find time to come here and talk. One last question to you. The Guyana government, French Guyana government, they are starting their parliament activities with 3 minutes of Rajyoga meditation.
Yes.
So likewise, if we also incorporate a little bit of meditation into our system, parliament or our own secretariats, would it create a great change in the working environment inside our administration?
No, any change it has to be brought from top to bottom. If the top people are corrupt, the lower people will be corrupt. If the top people are noble, the lower people will be automatically they will do evil things. So the parliament or government leaders are in top position in the administration, politics, democracy, etc. So if a change is brought by way of meditation, etc., ethics, etc., character, from the parliament to the public in general, so automatically the lower people will also practice. Because I did remember that what Vivekananda said. The ethics or character attitudes have to be inculcated in the education. Because it's the education, if find correct things in the education system, that drives you throughout your life. So what Vivekananda said, a noble teacher has to transform his mind to the mind of students. A noble teacher has to transform his soul to the soul of student. So the transformation has to be brought in the minds of students by virtue of education. So as the case in respect of the politicians. So a politician, a leader has to transform his mind. First he has to inculcate a noble mind. First he has to have a correct moral characteristic attitude. Then he has to transform his mind to the mind of public. Then he has to transform his soul to the soul of public. If the leader is not ethical, the public will be ethical. So any transformation has to be brought from the political class, political leadership. That is certain.
Any message for any youngster who is watching this program?
The youngsters, youth, the students have to observe the way of living of Brahma Kumaris, because I have been seeing for the last 4 days boys and girls, women, men from the age of 16, 18 years to the age of 80, 90, how they totally renounce their life, family pleasures, family comforts, etc. How they sacrifice their lives. So the very citizen, a very youngster or student need not sacrifice to the extent of the Brahma Kumaris doing, but some sacrifice has to be there, some sacrifice or a little sacrifice has to be there from the side of youth and
at least
students.
They can sacrifice their negative things which are inside.
Yes, exactly. If they are able to sacrifice their negative mind, negative views, negative approach, that helps himself, his family, nation and the universe. Not only for human being, it will be useful and it will be helpful to the all living creatures in the universe. That sort of change has to be brought from the hearts of and the souls of the students and youth of this beloved nation of Bharat.
Sir, thank you very much for taking time to share with us some of your valuable wisdom from the field from which you were, that is politics, which is a very controversial field and a very busy field as such. And I think really and all our viewers will agree that if all our politicians and all our leaders especially will inculcate the mode of approach which you just now exhibited, I think we will definitely find ourselves in a new wonderful age. Sir, really thank you and
welcome. So kind of you.
So my dear friends, the message is very clear to all of us from a successful politician and a successful leader of our present day community, Mr. Malila Ligreddy. And the most significant words uttered today, I think, is if we doesn't couple spirituality with our own day-to-day activities, lot of problems will be there in the future. So why invite problem? The message from the heart of a politician, I think, is very valuable in the present day scenario, because I have heard if a politician is peaceful, that is real peace, and let us learn that peacefulness from the life of a politician, because it is such a stressful, busy life, and if a busy person can keep his cool at all the difficulties which he is confronting, then definitely we can say that is success, that is life. So thanks to you, all of you who have been watching this program. Until we meet with another great personality, it is a goodbye from all of us in Godlywood studio. Thank you very much.